One thing which I'm really curious to see is you've mentioned about fasting and how that doesn't actually improve autophagy rates.
Yes.
So could you go into that in a little bit more detail? Because there's so many people that like to promote and talk about the benefits of fasting, but I think we're starting to learn that it's actually not that hugely important. Like, what is more important is just having a lower body fat percentage.
Yes. And it's good that you say low body fat percentage, because most researchers, they say the key is energy restriction, but it's actually about being at a low body fat percentage, because if you logically take it to the conclusion of you should spend your life in energy deficit, you would die. Like eventually
and life would suck.
Yeah, also, but literally you're going to die. You're going to starve. At some point, you know, you're going to, at some point you're going to hit 5% body fat, and then you're going to go into essential body fat stores. You're literally going to die. So you can't be in energy restriction all the time. The benefits of energy restriction are that you get to a certain low body fat level. And that has numerous health benefits. Now, fasting is one way you can achieve an energy deficit. So energy restriction, you can achieve it by either intentionally reducing your food intake, different food choices that are more energy dense or energy sparse, so you eat less of them. You also reduce your energy intake with ad libitum dieting, like eating as much as you want, but if you eat broccoli or chicken breast, you're never going to be in energy surplus. Nobody can eat that much broccoli. Or you can do fasting, like you can restrict the amount of hours that you eat. And then typically people go into energy deficit even if they don't change their food choices. Because if you can only eat 8 hours of the day, previously you were eating 12 plus, you're probably going to reduce your energy intake. So for some people, it's a very convenient way to restrict energy intake. But most research has found that fasting is no better than all the other options for autophagy, for health markers, for insulin sensitivity, anything pretty much, fat loss as well, when you equate it with another group that does the same amount of energy restriction, but via daily restriction. So a recent study, or 2021, it was Templeman, they looked at complete alternate day fasting versus the same calorie deficit with a 25% daily deficit. And they found that the health improvements you get and the autophagy gene expression and the inflammation gene expression was the same between the groups. And that's actually the only direct human study we have on isocaloric, so energy equated comparison, that looked at autophagy expression, because autophagy is very difficult to measure. It's not like you can just do blood work and you see it or something. So the whole idea of intermittent fasting, autophagy is usually used as kind of a buzzword, like the mantra, like autophagy, like why fast autophagy. And then most people don't even know what it is. It's like a cellular cleanup process, like recycling, the breaking down of cells that are no longer needed. And it's inherently a catabolic process. You activate it by activating catabolism. So like energy restriction, anything that will induce catabolism, like not eating, will induce autophagy. And that has some health benefits because it's like a cleanup process. It's like emptying your computer's bin and suddenly it frees up space. So it has health benefits, but it's just catabolism oriented, and it comes back to energy restriction and being lean in the end, but in most parts, not so much the fasting per se. So yes, fasting can be great for some people, it's just not magic. You don't have to fast. It's a tool to reduce your energy intake.